Hi all, welcome to the session on natural language processing. In this video, you will learn the importance of NLP or natural language processing in today's world. To support this one, I will introduce some applications that is well known to all of us. But you don't know that it is actually the NLP who is playing a vital role in such applications. And finally, I will discuss some of the Python libraries that support NLP. So let's start. It's time to explore the untapped insights waiting to be discovered in your unstructured data. Approximately 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created each day, and according to Gartner, it is estimated that 80% of all data is unstructured. The examples for structured data can be obtained from CRM, sales, finance, or obviously the Excel sheet which we are familiar with. The main sources of unstructured data are like from chats, from social medias, from call centers, from ratings and reviews, some surveys, and these constitute the majority part of data today. So this is the difference between structured data and structured data. Structured data can be displayed in rows, columns, and relational databases, whereas unstructured data cannot be displayed in rows, columns, and relational databases. Structured data examples are for numbers, dates, and strings, whereas for unstructured data it includes images, audio, video, word processing files, emails, spreadsheets. As I already told you, structured data forms 20% of enterprise data, whereas unstructured data forms 80% of enterprise data, and that's according to Gartner. For structured data, it requires less storage, whereas for unstructured data, it requires more storage. Structured data are easier to manage and protect with legacy solutions, whereas unstructured data is more difficult to manage and protect with legacy solutions. So this unstructured data, mostly they are very similar to our own natural language. So natural language refers to the language that is used by humans to communicate with each other. Example for natural language is there you can see in face-to-face conversations, in tweets, in blogs, in emails, in websites, in SMS messages, everywhere you can see the influence of natural language, right? The machines as such cannot interpret the natural language, right? So it would be good if we have some technique to process this natural language and get some insights from it so that it can be helpful for the whole world. So there comes the term natural language processing for helping this. That's actually a field of artificial intelligence that gives the machines the ability to read, understand, and derive meaning from human languages. So NLP helps to form a structured data format from this unstructured data, and later this structured data can be used for analysis. This is the block diagram for a test classifier. So test classifier is something that classifies a test based on some given input, right? So in every test documents you know that there will be some sentence, and the building blocks of every sentence is a word, right? First, you have to do a tokenization process, and in that process the sentences that is there in that document will be tokenized into the most simplest single unit that represents the information. After the tokenization, we will get some tokens. For example, if I am giving a sentence like this internship is excellent, the tokens for this sentence will be this internship is excellent, then the full stop. So total 5 tokens will be there for this sentence. Once we got the tokens, we will go for a pre-processing process. And there we will remove the stop words. Stop words are nothing but the meaningless words in that document. Just like is, the. Once that stop words are removed, we'll go for stemming and lemmatization. Okay, there you will find the base word for each of the tokens you have found. Once that is done, you will go for feature engineering. For feature engineering, there will be bag of words concept, TF-IDF concept, and word embedding. Once you are ready with that feature set, you can go and build the model. And just like any supervised model, you can evaluate that model and your classifier is ready. So the role of NLP is to infer important data from that test document so that it can be used for model building. Now let's see some of the well-known applications of NLP. You can see the application of NLP in search autocorrect. It's easy to make mistakes when typing and not realize it. But if the search engine on a website doesn't catch that mistake and instead shows no result, then potential buyers might assume you don't have the information or answers they are looking for and may instead go to a competitor. There comes the role of the search autocorrect. Another example is machine translation. It's very much used nowadays. It will accept some input in one language and it will convert that to another language. Sometimes you might not know the meaning of that sentence. So the translator will translate that to the language you know based on your request and you will get that appropriate output. Another example is virtual assistants. The MasterCard launched its own chatbot that was compatible with Facebook Messenger. But compared to Uber's bot, the MasterCard bot functions more like a virtual assistant. Another application is social media monitoring. Knowing what customers are saying on social media about a brand can help businesses continue to offer a great product, service, or customer experience. NLP makes monitoring and responding to that feedback easy. Another application is Alexa. Alexa functions similarly to the messenger bots except with an almost unlimited number of possible skills. And the last application is customer service automation. This is something different from the normal bots. It uses NLP and AI engine to generate answers to the incoming questions and automatically fill case data. And finally, we will discuss some Python natural language processing language libraries. The first one or the most important one is NLTK, that is Natural Language Toolkit. That's a leading platform for building Python programs to work with human language data. Another library is GenSysm. That's a Python library for topic modeling, document indexing, and similarity retrieval with large corpora. Next one is Polyglot. That's a natural language pipeline which supports massive multilingual applications. Next one is TextBlob. That's a Python library for processing textual data. The next one is Core NLP. That provides a set of human language technology tools. It integrates the part of speech tagger, then the named entity recognizer, etc. The next Python tool is Spacy. That's a library for advanced natural language processing in Python and Cython, which comes with a number of interesting features. The next one is Pattern. That's a web mining module for the Python programming language. Next one is Vocabulary. That's a Python library for natural language processing, which is basically a dictionary in the form of Python module. The next one is PyNLPI. It's a Python library for natural language processing. And the last one is QPy. That's a Python framework to transform natural language questions into queries in a database query language. That's it for this session. So we have seen what is the role of NLP in today's world, how it is doing that language processing, some of the well-known applications of NLP, and finally some Python tools that support NLP. Thanks for watching the video. Happy learning.